This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Toyota is looking to expand in Texas. The automaker filed for state and local tax incentives for a $2 billion assembly plant located next to its current truck plant near San Antonio. If Toyota gets approval, construction of the facility could start as soon as this year, with the first vehicles rolling down the line in 2030. It's not known what models the new plant will build yet, but Toyota needs the extra capacity. The automaker's North American executives say its U.S. manufacturing network is operating at record efficiency levels and aren't able to accommodate any extra output regardless of demand. Stellantis is expanding its partnership with Chinese automaker Dongfeng. They're going to build two all-new Peugeot-branded vehicles based on the Concept 6 and Concept 8 that were revealed recently at the Beijing Auto Show. These will be NEVs, so there'll be some form of PHEV, BEV, or EREV, and production starts at their joint venture plant in China in 2027. There's no official word on which automaker is providing the platform for these vehicles. They're intended for China and export to other global markets. Around the same time, two Jeep-branded off-road NEVs for global markets will be built at the same plant in China, but no details on what those will be yet. Stellantis and Dongfeng also signed a non-binding understanding to leverage their scale, expertise, and R&D capabilities, which we think could include sharing more of Stellantis' unused manufacturing in Europe. The two automakers are investing just over €1 billion to expand their partnership, but Stellantis is only expected to contribute €130 million of that total. Speaking of Stellantis, it's using AI to make searching for used cars within its European dealer network easier. Even if you have a lot of automotive knowledge, you might have to look through pages and pages of listings just to find a few vehicles that might fit what you're looking for. Search filters do help, but Stellantis partnered to develop its own AI-based search engine that allows more natural language when looking on its used car platform called SPOT.i. You can type something like, "I want a hatchback under €15,000, or "Do you have any cars from Maserati?" Stellantis thinks users can discover a wider selection of vehicles, and retailers will see an increase in higher quality leads. The company launched the feature called Spot.i last year, and says it's already logged more than 3 million searches across Europe. And in one last bit of Stellantis news, the automaker is getting into banking. It just received approval from the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, or FDIC, and the Utah Department of Financial Institutions to create its own industrial bank. The bank is governed and regulated like any other bank, but it's more limited. However, an industrial bank allows the company to accept deposits insured by the FDIC into its savings accounts, which Stellantis couldn't do before. Those deposits can then generate earnings and greater savings opportunities for consumers. And if those people do their banking with an automaker, they're probably a lot more likely to buy their cars. At the beginning of this year, General Motors and Ford also received federal approval to create their own industrial banks.
At CSP, we work with OEM engineers across the country on their journeys to lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly vehicles. Learn more at thecsp.com.
EV sales took a significant tumble in the U.S. after the Trump administration eliminated the federal tax credit last year. But it looks like the segment is showing signs of recovery. According to S&P Global Mobility, registrations of new BEVs in March fell 25% compared to a year ago to 87,800 units. While that's still a big drop, that's the highest number of EV registrations since the tax credit was repealed. It's also significantly higher than February's 56,700 registrations. March's EV market share was 6.2%, up from 4.8% in February. But a lot of that growth was thanks to generous automaker incentives, which averaged $8,000 in March, according to Cox Automotive. While most automakers saw a drop in EV sales, Toyota did especially well. Its EV registration skyrocketed 140% in March, Lexus was up 183%, and Subaru, which shares Toyota's EV platform, was up 50%. And speaking of Subaru's electric vehicles, the automaker is going to share a platform with Toyota longer than expected. Subaru had planned to start building a new independently developed EV at a new plant in Japan, which is scheduled to open in 2028. But now Subaru is delaying production of that model and is taking a $362 million charge to do so. The plant will focus on producing gas-powered and hybrid vehicles instead and will add EVs later depending on demand. Subaru needs to cut costs in order to offset the effect of U.S. tariffs, which wiped out $1.4 billion in earnings last year. The U.S. accounts for 70% of Subaru's sales globally, and about half of those vehicles are imported from Japan, which gets slapped with a 15% tariff. Volkswagen is coming out with a sportier GTI version of the ID Polo that it recently revealed. At its heart is a more powerful 166 kilowatt or roughly 225 horsepower electric motor, which drives the front wheels. But it also comes with an electric limited slip diff, adaptive chassis, 19-inch wheels, and sport seats. Along with the new GTI driving mode, the setup will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.8 seconds. Cupra actually uses the same package on the new Reval with a trim it calls VZ. Pre-sales of the ID Polo GTI starts in Germany as early as September, and prices will start at about 39,000 euros. And in one more bit of VW news, it skipped a 2026 model year for the ID Buzz in the US because 2025 versions arrive late. So it basically has enough inventory of 25s to cover the 26 model year since the EV doesn't sell in big numbers in the US. However, VW is coming out with a 2027 version, which will include upgrades like the company's newest software system, one-pedal driving, and a camper van that has a fold-out mattress, window blinds, ventilation, and a special battery mode to use power even when the car is off. But that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you have a great weekend.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Alex Partners, when it really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. CSP, the Composites Solution Partner. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And thanks to the following YouTube and Patreon members.
Making a life full of memories, one road trip at a time. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Weather Peak tires with a 70,000-mile limited warranty.
We act, we grow, we transform, we protect, we rescue. In moments that define the future, we are the partner you can trust. Alex Partners, when it really matters.
At Intrepid, we produce network hardware and software solutions, enabling vehicle manufacturers to innovate and design the next generation of modern mobility. Delivering scalable next-generation solutions requires thorough testing and validation of vehicle platforms. Intrepid's NeoVi cloud platform helps manufacturers quickly identify diagnostic trouble codes and defects by pinpointing which vehicles have specific software versions. This allows them to isolate non-compliant vehicles in real time using analytics, part numbers, DTCs, and organized, secure, cloud-based data. All of these steps ensure vehicles are cleared for production and ready for the road, taking your fleet testing into the future of mobility. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Ward's is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.